Good evening, viewers. We're back and welcome everyone out there. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what part of the world you are in. Welcome back to another episode of Sensational TV. Tonight we're doing something a little different. I was just having a little think to myself in the break there. About when the last time I called a GT3 race, and the general consensus between myself and my brain was about 9 months ago. So forgive me for any clunkiness on this beautiful game, Assetto Corsa Competizione. Welcome everyone, welcome the regulars out there as well. We're back in ACC, and tonight it's a special one. It is the season finale of the Slipstream International World Series, coming to you live from Imola. Beautiful part of the world and a beautiful circuit to boot. And 13 of the drivers are out there on track currently. We'll see if we can't get a few more in the gate by the time we get to qualifying, which should be in the next 5 to 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. The results from the previous practice round have disappeared off my screen. But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it's tight up there on the top of the championship standings, which I will just try and bring up here, ladies and gents. Let's just have a look if I can do that. Here we go. Let's get rid of that as well. Liam Curran is sitting on top in the Lamborghini Huracan on 342.5 points. Only 19.5 points behind is Tom Grantham, and he's in the AMG GT3. Behind them is Lee Perkins there in third, but I think he might just be a little too far back, depending on the points tables. But I mean, 8 rounds in, and they're only up to 340 odd points for the win. I think he might just be out of touch for this championship victory, whereas the top two there, Liam and Tom, will be battling it out there on circuit for Slipstream supremacy. So hopefully we get to see that play out on track and nice and clean and mean. I'll tell you what though, the battle for the third place on the championship standings is hot and ready. We've got Lee, Jan Ivanov, sorry Ivan, or sorry Jan. I'm going to mess up a few of these names as I have not called you guys before. Charles Byrne, one of the members here at one of the commentators at Sensational TV, up there in 5th position, and KP Seong is there in the AMG as well. Got a nice little mix of different car manufacturers up there in the top 10 as well. Nearly all of them. A couple of Ford Mustangs, a couple of Mercedes. We've got a Ferrari, a BMW, a Nissan GTR. That's what we like to see. Jan in the GTR. We'll get behind him tonight. Don't you worry about that. Colin Black is in the chat there saying, "Evening, folks. Let's hope it will be clean racing." I assume so. It's, they have the aid of the whole season under their belt, Colin. So this is the final round of this season. So I assume that all these drivers are well acquainted with each other's driving styles and how they battle on track. So we'll be at the mean end of it. Don't you worry. These guys, especially Lee, Lee, Jan, Charles, KP, all within distance there of perhaps taking the third place, and plus the two guys at the top. So it's going to be mean and clean. Eric Yang down there in 7th position. Patrick Kubica in 8th position. Abasi Hussain in 9th. Craig Dawson down there in 10th. Max Moron in 11th. Reminds me of an F1 driver who will remain unnamed. Alex Wanisic in 12th position there. Nathan Henderson in 13th. Igor Panov in 14th. And Mattia Porsche in 15th. Danil I can't read it. Nageltsev. Sorry about that, Danil. I'm sure I murdered your name. Seems like a few internationals here in the server, and that's good to see. I guess it's true to the name of Slipstream International. We're getting the full range out there of planet Earth's offerings of sim racing drivers, but at the moment they are all in the pit lane getting ready for qualifying. I assume just brushing up on the final briefing of the year, or of this season should I say, as one of the cars, one of the looks like a Aston Martin, leaving the pit lane. Go. Nathan Henderson. It looks like they are fording to the next session here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to be underway with some qualifying very shortly. Get your predictions in the chat. Who's going to take out the final qualifying of the year? It's going to be hard to go past Liam Curran, Tom Grantham, because I'm sure both of those boys have done their due diligence in the practice department. So they're both going to be out there absolutely ready to go. So we might even try and join one of them. It's going to be Curran there in the beautiful purple Lamborghini Huracan. We'll see what he can get done here, ladies and gents. We're in qualifying now. It's 19 minutes to go. Let's see if we can get. We're going to get their personal best up there, and we're also going to get their personal best delta next to them, so we can see whether they are up or down in the qualifying stakes. First man out there on track is car 31. That's Nathan Henderson. We saw him ready to go. Rip roaring, actually, was the first one out pit lane, and he's got about a quarter of the track advantage back to the next guy. So he's ready. Let's ride on board, ladies and gentlemen, because we will go on a lap around this beautiful circuit down here at Imola with this man on circuit. He dips it in the final couple of turns. Gets on the power. Way down the pit straight here for the first time in qualifying. This is Nathan Henderson we're riding on board with. See back at the rest of the people. Rest of the outside soon enough. He will dip through turn 1 into turn 2 and 3. This is the Variante Temporello. Very difficult couple of turns. I'll tell you what, when you get it right, it's very, very nice. I'll tell you what, fair bit of wheel work going on there for Nathan Henderson as well. Just keeping it on the track. Through 5 and 6, this is a very deceptive part of the track too. You want to take it out as wide as you can. Certainly what Nathan is doing, getting on the brakes hard here into turn 7 and hugging the inside, getting the power down that right foot to the floor as fast as possible. At least as fast as the track control will aim. Coming up through the top end of the circuit here, 9 and 10 down into this infamous part of the track here at Imola. Get the English out, ladies and gentlemen. This turn here is so much fun in the music. They just stick to all the downforce they have. They can just look at cruise braking though now, down into 14 and 15. Pretty much jump across the curve, depending on which car you're in. It seems the Aston Martin handled it okay. Must have the suspension set up broken. Chucked it over that front there. Now down the hill into Rabat for these final 2 turns on the track. These a nice welcome change to the technical difficulty of the rest of the circuit. This one's just a game of pace, waiting to get on that throttle. Gets it done nicely with the 2 volts down the main straight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what stops the timing tower at for the first time across the line. It is a 142.3. Fantastic outlap there from Nathan Henderson. No mucking around on this part of the circuit. The next man across the line here is Charles Byrne, number 100. He's just rounding the final turn now, going past the start-finish line for a 142.5, so 0.2 off Nathan Henderson on that first time around. Excuse me. Let's see if we can get the rest of these apps up, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just fix that up for you. There's one. Let's do the next one as well. Sorry, ladies and gents. This is it's a little bit awkward here. It's my first time using this software in quite some time. There we go. All the apps up and available to all watching at home. Tell us where you're tuning in from, ladies and gentlemen. We've got, as I said, we're in Slipstream International. So we are truly out there in the international stakes tonight. Everyone joining in. There seems to be a few drivers from all around the world as well. We're going to ride on board here with, we're going to follow Charles Byrne around. But look at Nathan Henderson, mind you, ladies and gentlemen. He's 8/10 up on his personal best, and he's gone purple in the first sector. Let's see if he can knock Liam Curran, who has knocked him off in the time being around the first part. But here comes Nathan Henderson across the line, stops the clock, and goes quickest at a 1:41.6. What an improvement there. Wowee, Nathan Henderson really out to stick it to these regulars out there at Slipstream International, the top two. Where is our man who is sitting second in the championship? I can't see him out there. Tom is not in the server. So I'll tell you what, Liam Curran doesn't really have to do much tonight to seal the deal. If Tom doesn't turn up, then he's pretty much got the championship sewed up there, and that is fantastic. He's got, I assume that's him in the chat there. F1 Fix 85 saying he's got a quali ban. That's why he's not out there. That is absolutely disappointing to see. He's going to have to come from a last to first challenge to put up some sort of fight to Liam Curran. So that's disappointing for you, son. But I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll do your best when you get back out there, Liam Curran. Just aborting that lap. Who else is on a hot one here? It's Lee Perkins. He's about to cross the line again. Let's see what he posts at 1:41.5. No improvement there. Phil Turner. Let's have a look at Phil in the BMW there. Beautiful livery there. The Tic Tac livery. Interesting to see. But the freshest breath on the grid. This bloke here, Phil. Don't mind if he's a close talker, because it will be minty fresh indeed. We're talking to Mike Lewin. He's in. Oh no, Tom Grantham. There he is. He's on the pit board there, just in the pits. P13. We've got you there, bud. We'll be watching with a keen eye, seeing how you can cut through this field and make a championship run at it. Disappointing with the quali ban. But, I'm sure there's 90 minutes coming up in the endurance round here. Should be enough to at least stage some sort of fight, and depending on the pace around these guys at the front. Lee Perkins looking quick, so does Henderson. About a second behind there is Charles Byrne in third position. Seems Liam Curran has exited the server for now, but I'm sure he will be back. Charles Byrne on a hot lap, actually. He's 3/10 up on his personal best currently, so he wants the lap to finish right now. In the Oreo Mustang, looks beautiful. Great livery choice there, or livery choice, should I say. He's probably made this himself. Fantastic looking GT3 Mustang. He's dropped to 10th though in that last few turns. He's only got a few more to go here in the third sector, and he's made up another one as that Mustang seems planted over the Verolente Alta there, the turn 14 and 15. The tight little chicane. It does upset some of these GT3 vehicles when you clatter across those sausage curves. I don't think you'll see some of the rear engine or mid-engine cars going that hard, but Charles Byrne pulling out of that lap. He must have messed up that final few turns, but I'll tell you what, still 10 minutes to go. We're halfway through the qualifying session as it stands. Liam Curran is back in the server. He's got a 2/10 advantage over Lee Perkins. You can see Mustafa down there. He's on a bit of a hot lap as well. 6/10 up on his personal best. It's a 1:43.9. So about two and a bit seconds off the pace. Around, that's a nice another BMW there. A bit of a two-face vibe there from the old Batman days. Black on one side, white on the other. See where he can stop the clock. It's probably going to be a 1:43.4 or something like that. It is 1:43.4 just. Himself up into 7th position. Provisionally, halfway down the field, we've got 14 cars on track. Fix 85, one Fix 85, thank you. I will enjoy the race. It's my first outing here in Slipstream International as well. I'm just getting used to all the new drivers' names, liveries out there. So looking forward to it. 90 minutes of action coming up, viewers. Just poured myself a nice little tasty adult beverage as well well, probably not going to last 90 minutes. I might have to go for a quick refill. All right, we're talking Marsh there. That's Sebastian. Good to have you in the chat, Sebastian Marsh. Share it around on your socials. Get your mum, get your grandma watching in here at Simsational TV. My name, by the way, is Chris Munro, everyone. I put up the comms graphic, but I didn't update it, so Zach O'Reilly is not in the commentary box tonight. He's on furlough off in Thailand, just watching ping pong shows and dodging Adam's apples, all the good stuff that you can do out there in Thailand. So say good day to him if he tunes in the chat. I'm sure he'll be listening. He's got a spare minute or two, so keep an eye out for him in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. It's Ivanov here at the moment, just teetering on a personal best, 1/10 up currently. 8 minutes 20 seconds to go. Car 69, love it, love the livery. Let's have a look if Marsh has in fact there it is, the little, I was going to say the New Zealand Fern. Beautiful, car 69, love it. McLaren, love it, excellent. Let's get back to Ivanov. Let's see how he's faring here. He's just teetering on the edge of a personal best. He's got to make up 3/10, however, if he wants to overtake Charles Byrne. Just let it go there on the exit of Rabatza 2. So that is back to the drawing board for Ivanov. Yeah, he's sicker than a chili bin full of DBs, eh, cuz? Love that from across the ditch there. We'll keep an eye on that car as the race progresses. But, Marsh will be starting down the back. Let's see where Tom Grantham, he's actually out on track now in the beautiful colours, the green and black. Anyone new to Simsational TV's got to know that this is my favourite colour combination. All my cars in my sim racing days were the same colour, so you got a rival for the commentary favourite there, Marshy. This is really gets me going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how he goes, but he's popped himself up into the top 5. That's where he wants to be, ladies and gentlemen, closer to the back of Liam Curran now. He's only 19.5 points shy in the championship. So depending on the outcome of this race, I'll have to look up the points tally, or the points denominations for the winner of this endurance race, and see if it's possible, or at least mathematically or statistically possible if Grantham wins, and how far behind Curran has to finish to keep a hold of that championship spot, because that is the main story tonight's qualifying. He's 3/10 up now, Tom Grantham. He's absolutely sent it through that middle sector. Let's have a look how he's going on the timing board. Still no purple there, just keeping it consistent around. Now he's up to 4/10. That's going to put him, what's that, 42.3. It's going to just bump him in front of Charles Byrne. Depending on how Bernie goes at the moment, because he's 1 or 2 tenths up too on his own delta. Let's see. Let's ride in the car here. And you can feel the speed, viewers. That's it up down the mid straight. Just tipped off his personal best there. It's a 142.2. Still going to make up a 9/10. Wants to really take the fight to the car. So it's a tall order here so far. Tom Grantham got his work cut out for him if he wants to really take the fight to Liam in this championship. That's something we can address later on. Let's have a look how Mark Stevens is going here. The Ferrari. No, sorry, McLaren. Oh, don't kill me, everyone. As I said, it's been 9 months since we fought a GT3 race on this title. So, of course, a competizione, so forgive me for any kind of clunkiness, whether it be into the microphone or on the old broadcast dials. We're doing our best out here for Saturday night. Hope you're all enjoying the view, enjoying the stream. See how many we got? Six viewers out there at the moment. We'll wait for our man Ronnie Marshall to join. He loves a sensational TV broadcast, that is for sure. Jaden Lee Sunker Fall. Is that how you pronounce it, ladies and gents? Sunkerlol. Sorry about that, Jaden. He's on a bit of a hottie at the moment as well. 3/10 up for him. That will not improve him. He needs to be in the half of a second range. 5/10 up. He wants to move up the order. As Mustafa there in front of him is on a 43.4. Sunkerlal's best lap, as you can see next to his name on the timing tower there, is a 43.9. So this might not be enough. Oh, he actually got a pretty good exit there, so that delta dropping further into the green. It's going to be very tight once he crosses the line here. Let's see if he moves up. He does not. Just over a tenth the difference now to him. Liam Curran's up on his own personal best, setting purple sectors as well. Curran is absolutely flying on this lap. The lonely Lamborghini out there. One of the best looking supercars, hypercars, what do you call them? Expensive cars, in my opinion. You had unlimited money, ladies and gentlemen. Which one of these cars would you have parked in your garage if you could only have one? I think the Lambo's got to be one of the more popular votes. Oh boy, something about those. Brendan H tuning in says, enjoy the Wednesday BMW racing. Absolutely. Dropped in for a look tonight. Top stuff as always. Yeah, there, the Wednesday Cup will be back this Wednesday for the season finale as well over there at AK Racing. We'll be racing at the 1966 version from Monaco in the BMW M5s. They are an absolute ripper of a car to rip around any circuit, and tell you what, probably going to have about 30 on the grid for that final race too, so that is going to be a spectacle for the ages. Seeing those cars just absolutely packed around a Monaco circuit, wowee. Could see some track blockage, but as we see Curran going faster again, dipping into the 140s, 140.8. Wowee, that's 7/10 better than Lee Perkins, who's sitting there in second position currently. See where he stops the clock at this time around, 141.3, no better. Tell you what, it's going to be a tall order. Can anyone catch Liam Curran? They're going to have to maybe just catch him napping off the start. Try and just slot in there, do some sort of a Verstappen manoeuvre. through the first chicane there. Turns 2 and 3. Just send it in hard. Hope for the best. Probably not the best way to go racing either, ladies and gentlemen. You want to be cool, calm and collected. Here's a Ferrari, number 99, bright orange. You cannot miss it. This is Eric Yang. He's 2 point, well, he's actually 3 tenths, just teetering on the edge. He's given it all back there at turn 7. Not ideal. Beautiful moving camera angle here at Imola. This is a lovely looking title, ladies and gents. I do love Assetto Corsa Competizione. So maybe we'll see more broadcasts here at Slipstream International for next season of the World Series. When that kicks off, I believe, on the 26th of July, if I got my info right. So get your entries in, ladies and gentlemen. We could have some streaming there for that. Depending on availability, I usually work Saturday nights, but tonight I found myself off, so why not get involved in the commentary action? Especially at a season finale. Because I tell you what, it all culminates into that, a whole season full of racing and battles and, choice words in the voice chat for these guys. I don't know how good friends they are out there on circuit, but, or if at all. Maybe there's a few little pushy and shoveys behind the garage afterwards. It's hard to tell, but Liam Curran cannot be caught now. He will be the provisional pole sitter. Let's go and have a look at him there in the pit lane. He's called it a day, and that's a day for pole position. He goes, this is where you want to be to take out this championship, ladies and gents. Liam Curran goes pole with a 140.8. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. Let's get rid of that so we can see properly. Lee Perkins there in second position, 141.3, with Henderson behind them. Only 3 tenths shy at a 141.6. Tom Grantham making his way up to fourth position now with a 141.9, but that's a second difference between him and Liam Curran battling it out for this championship. Just hope his race pace might be up there. You never know. There's a difference between full tanks and low fuel runs and all that kind of jazz business. Maybe taking a little bit of aero off for the race. Get a bit of top speed down there into turns 2 and 3. Charles Byrne finishing 5th with a 142.2. Mike Lewin behind them with 142.4. Followed by Jan Ivanov with a 142.6. Eric Yang behind them with a 142.9. All tight there in the mid-pack. Phil Turner only 2 tenths behind with Mark Stevens. Bang on, only, what's that, 27 hundredths. The difference between those two guys, I suspect a 90-minute battle coming towards us now. 2 minutes until the session start, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the grid. Good to see. Let's get back to where we were. Excuse me for husbands, ladies and gents. Let's go drive. Projector, let's get this tower back up, ladies and gentlemen. Liam Curran is off the front row. Perkins sits behind him in the number 33 BMW. Wonder how that is off the line. They're pretty good, I think. The front engine cars. BMW is nice and easy to drive as well. Aston Martin, you can see all the front engine cars really occupying the top 4 of the top 5 positions. It's only Liam Curran in that Lamborghini getting right out there. And we got the man of the moment in the chat there as well. Mr. Goose 100 says it's been a really fun season, great racing. I'm sure it has been. We're late to the party here at Sensational TV. It's all right, we're going to get the best of it here tonight. Tom Grantham up there in 4th position. Beautiful Mercedes-Benz. Charles Byrne. He's got the biscuit on the side. He's ready. Mike Lewin in the McLaren 20S. The old Mika Hakkinen. West. So who else was in that team? It was Kimi Räikkönen as well, I believe. Could be wrong. Going back a long way. The old memory doesn't go back that far. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Jan Ivanov. GTR, Nissan. Get down, number 35. We're rooting for him. It's probably not the quickest car out there either. The poor old GTR has been forgotten about in ACC terms. BMW as well. Here we go. We're off on the formation lap. This is Phil Turner. He's Max Deep. Yeah, like that. That's really nice. The edge there. Beautiful. Here's Mustafa. Up BMW there on the grid. Quite a few, ladies and gentlemen. There is another Lamborghini down here. It's Sunkalol. Jason Hutchins joining the grid in the number 91 Mustang. Sebastian March, who we've seen Floyd Man in the 720S there with the silver fern on the side. We'll be ready to cut through the pack. Keep an eye on him, ladies and gentlemen. Timing tower ready to go. Let's get up the front because we are almost ready for a start, ladies and gentlemen. They're about halfway around. They're going to do a full. We're going to do a full lap here, ready to go. A little sip of my drink because it is. It's all going to kick off here at the start. I've got a feeling Perkins is going to try and attack Liam Curran, and it's probably the best way to go. Attack him while you can, because if he's got his own way out in front with that clear air, he's just going to produce qualifying laps and disappear off into the distance. There is one mandatory pit stop as well, ladies and gentlemen. Let's add that to the mix. Here we go. We can see who has made that, and if there is any kind of strategy, or is everyone just going to hit halfway through this race? 45 minutes in, that is the half race distance. We see people come in early, maybe looking for a little bit of an undercut. Some people going long for an overcut. Only time will tell. Some of these answers will, or some of these questions will be answered. Liam Curran leads them around. Lee Perkins just maybe a little bit of foreshadowing there. Going for the send on the formation lap. Why not? Oh, lucky we got ghosting on the formation lap there. Henderson just giving Curran a bit of a virtual hurry up. Back end of that Lamborghini. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are set for a start. They are in tight formation. Coming across to the pit straight now. Who's going to get the jump? Is it going to be Lamborghini? Is it going to be BMW? Curran, Perkins. Don't forget Grantham back there in the AMG. Set for a start now. The nerves are high. We've got some green flags waving now. The cars are ready to go. They're just holding them. No one wants to go yet.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Here we go. We're off and racing now. It looks like Curran's caught them napping. Perkins is going to try his best there, but looking back in the field, it's Henderson and Grantham side by side. Maybe a little bit of contact there between them as well. They're going to bunch up through the first couple of turns there, but Grantham's got the better of Henderson and will just slot into front. And now look at the battles on up here in the front. Curran has to go defensive on Perkins, but Perkins is giving him plenty through that first little sector. But now Liam Curran can stretch the legs because he's got about half a 10 to deal with as they come through turn 7. But look here, Mike Lewin going around the outside. Look, no, that's Perkins, Burns, should I say, just slotting in between the GTR and the Aston Martin, Nathan Henderson. So here goes the GTR, just having a look, just showing his nose there, up into turn 9. and down into the Aqua Minerale here for the first time, ladies and gentlemen. Up front, it's pretty close. 6/10 the difference there, but back here is where the action is, because Grantham's got Henderson right up his clacker here at the moment. 3/10 the difference. Looking back at the field, everyone's got through without incident. Or should I say, there has been an accident there at the back, maybe just some door handle rubbing to start with. No one's dropped off the pace too badly. This is the closest battle on track at the moment. We're going to ride on board with Anderson here to see what sort of an exit we can get here out of the final. Romanson turning in turn 18, and Imola circuit around for the first time. Liam Curran leads this race. Liam has done a fastest lap, obviously. He's out there in front. Perkins there behind. Here goes Henderson looking up the outside. Let's have a look. He's just going to try and send it there. There's contact, and Grantham is out of this competition, and he's taken Henderson with him. That was some lazy stuff there from the boys. They didn't quite give each other enough room on the entry to turn 2, and there is milk spilt all over the track. Tears spilt down the face as the championship slips through the fingertips of Tom Grantham. That's unfortunate stuff there from the boys, but that is racing, ladies and gentlemen. Up the front, Liam Curran is unperturbed. He's got a 6/10 lead to Lee Perkins in the BMW. Let's have a quick look at that accident, ladies and gentlemen, because let's get a different view. Let's go to TV1. Let's have a little look at that unfortunate incident there. Looking back, this is the wrong this is the wrong Car 100. That's not who we're after. We want, who is it? 31. It's going to be this one. We'll get back to it, ladies and gentlemen. Once we see that, there's a little bit there. Let's go to Carter. This is the incident we're talking about now. You can see that the closing speed here, Nathan, is in the suck. It's right out to the outside. There's a fair bit of distance there between them. But maybe the AMG just drifting out off his line a little bit and making contact there. Unfortunate stuff from all in sundry. Let's get back to the action here. Liam Curran sets another fastest lap of the race, but he's not really dropping Perkins here at all. Only 4/10 the difference here at the front of the pack. So Perkins got plenty of race pace up his sleeve there in the BMW, and they've absolutely gapped Mr. Charles Byrne down here in third position. That's 7.3 seconds after 2 laps. Could be a spread out field here for the remainder of this final endurance race of the season. 1 hour and 25 to go. There's a bit of pushing and shoving down here. Mike Lewin in the McLaren, sorry. He's got, who's that? Ivanov at the front. Sunkalol, who's made his way up to 6th position. Doing a great job staying in touch here with these guys. It's a nice little almost four-way car battle there with Phil Turner at the back. Having a look at all four of them. Absolutely. Let's have a look out the front window, see what he can see. Comes down through. And then a rally here. This is a beautiful turn. Great fun in a GT3 car or anything with downforce, mind you. Just really dip it into that turn 12. Put it across the curbs as well. Be as liberal as you want. You can see the BMW here just eats those curves with some curbs for breakfast. There at turn 14 and 15. We're down to Barazza again. This is lap 2, third lap now. See the battle there just in front. So right on the back of Lewin. We might even be in the slipstream range. Suck, like to call it here at Sensational TV. You see he's closed that gap down to 3/10, to 2/10 in just a moment. Doesn't pull out of the slipstream and have a little look. Go from the heli view. He's sticking right there, fat, right on the rear quarter panel. Almost gave him a little bit of Morse code for his well-being there. Poor old Lewin, he's under attack here, big time. Jaden Lee all over the back of him now for the third lap of this race. The battle up front has just sunken out. Oh, Lewin's just missed his braking marker there and gone flying off the track. That's an easy position there for Sunkalol. I was looking at something else, and there maybe was a little bit of contact there between the number 7 of Sunkalol. Nothing has shown up on my timing tower. We'll just have a little look. There's something here on the replay screen, so let's go back and have a look at what happened there. This was earlier on in the lap, so no, there was no contact there between those two guys. Just Mike Lewin just missing out his braking marker there. A little bit of contact there with Mike Lewin around the first time. But let's go back and see what's happened to the 936 of Mike Lewin. This is it here, yeah, that's nothing. Nothing at all. But Liam Curran sets another fastest lap of the race. 1:41.6. So 0.8 off his best in qualifying. He's doing a great job there. He's got the pace, ladies and gentlemen. Very hard to catch. Let's get back to the action. Liam Curran out there in front. Let's see where the closest battles is here. It's Phil Turner. We've got Henderson and Stevens now as well. No, sorry, Henderson and Turner. Henderson going up the inside of Phil Turner, getting that job done. And that's Sunkalol there out in front. So this is a nice little 3-car battle here at the moment. Sunkalol doing a pretty good job out there in front of these three. See if we can get out of it first. Camera angles available to us here in ACC land. He's missing the apex there, and now Henderson has got an absolute run. That's insane. He's going to pull up alongside here, just dipping him up the inside. Beautiful run, and hitting on the brakes through Acton in the rally. Great awareness, great opportunity there from Henderson, and just took Sunkalol by surprise. Sunkalol, should I say? Sorry, mate. And just passed him like he was standing still there. Phil Turner backing up, looking for some of the scraps that are going to fall off the table, but messing up those final couple of chicanes there through 14 and 15. Just upset the momentum of that BMW, but he's going to try and send it in. Look at the braking power on that BMW. Really just bringing up the gap there between him and the Lamborghini in front. Great to see. A little lull in the action here, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know what that means? We've got an hour and 21 minutes to go in this race. Hopefully my vocal cords can hold out that long. I'm sure it'll be fine, ladies and gentlemen. Let's ride on board with Phil Taylor. Phil Taylor. Am I thinking about the darts? Anyone's a sports fan here in the house over the race, but Phil Taylor, one of the best darts players of all time. 16 World Championships to his name. That record will be surpassed anytime soon. So, good watch there, the old darts. Let's hold your breath. Back to the racing because Phil Turner is sitting about 6/10 behind. Tommy Grantham's on the comeback. Let's see where he's at the moment. He's got Stevens there in front of him, the Castro McLaren, and he's made that gap up quite quickly as well. You'd expect Grantham to maybe make a move here at first opportunity. Excuse me. He'll be waiting to pounce because he doesn't want to be waiting around now on the comeback trail, because anything can happen to Curran in front. He's dropped Lee Perkins as well. 3.3 seconds difference now to those guys out in front. As Liam sets another fastest lap, just turning the screws out in front, hitting the nails into the coffin early here. The endurance round. It's the final round of the championship, ladies and gentlemen. And Curran is absolutely flogging it through. A big mistake there from Stevens, and that will let Grantham straight through. He'll be happy with that. He didn't want to spend too much time mucking around down here at this end of the field. He's obviously one of the quicker drivers, this server. So wants to get back on the comeback trail. And I'll tell you what, Sunkalol and Turner up in front are still battling on. And that's going to be hurting their lap times as well. And you can see in the background just where Tom Grantham is. Only 1.8 seconds difference, but that is going to come down at a rapid pace. And these two guys just keep playing this little game of cat and mouse that they're playing at the moment. Phil Turner looking for a way through, but he seems to make a couple of just little mistakes here and there. But lets the pressure valve off. Sunkalol in front. Does have the freshest breath on the grid, though, to keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. He can sit behind you all day. It's not going to upset Sunkalol because it's a nice fresh bit of minty scent coming down through the back of his car. Absolute rubbish we speak here sometimes. My name is Chris Munro. To the stream, everyone. We're here. Just joined us. Slipstream International. Their final round of the World Series here at Imola. It's a 1 hour and 30-minute affair. Endurance to finish it off. Finish the season in style. We're riding with the closest battle on track here at the moment. It's Jaden Lee Sunkalol versus Phil Turner. It's Lamborghini versus BMW. It's right on board with Turner. See how close he is now. That gap down to 2/10 here at the moment. Just needs a nice little run through here. He might be able to attack into turns 5 and 6 maybe. So just can't get the power down enough. You can see the acceleration in the Lamborghini is really good. Get the power down, and you can see there again visual. Just sort of leaving the BMW dead out of these sort of medium to slow corners. And I suspect it's going to happen again through this turn 7, one of the slowest turns on the track. They head up to the top of the circuit here, the highest part, undulation turns through turn 9 and 10. As they come down the hill through the roller coaster section here. It's so much fun. I'm going to keep going on about it. But I'll tell you what, Phil Turner's got pace. But if he keeps missing the apexes like that, he's going to lose touch with the... hang on. From what I've said now, look at this. He's got another bit of thing to worry about. It's a bright green Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3 car behind him. Liam Currens, it's another fastest lap. Just turning the screws like he's a chippy at the moment. Turning the screws big time. But speaking of turning the screws, it's Tom Grantham right behind Phil Turner here at the moment. The two front engine cars here sitting 7th and 8th. And Grantham doesn't want to spend too much time again. Just trying to get back to where he was to start this race. Started in 4th position. Got into a bit of a tangle, we'll say. Ended up down the field there, but Nathan Henderson, the guy he got tangled up with, you can see, is a couple of positions up the order there. He's actually on the back of Ivanov now currently. A couple of battles just starting to heat up here on track, and Grantham just showing the nose to Phil Turner. Might just have him distracted here. He's right up behind him, you can see. And now, with a little bit of overlap coming into turn 7, that's where you want to be on the inside, and just gets that position done. Phil Turner giving him a wide berth as well. He says, you know what, this probably isn't my battle to be sticking my nose in. I'm just going to let it go. And away we go. Brendan H in the chat says, need some BOP for Currens' car. Is parachute an option? Well, perhaps it is. For those behind the scenes, is it out of the question to get some ballast or some parachutes out that Lamborghini out in front? It's already 6 seconds up the road from 2nd position, so I'll tell you what, to make it interesting for the viewers, it's slowed on another 100 kg ballast on that car in front. Let's check on Henderson, because he is right up the clack here of Ivanov in the Nissan GTR. Come on, Nissan, come on, you old thing. That car's about what? So that came out in what? 2018 maybe? That GT3 car? 7 years old now. It's getting long in the tooth, ladies and gents. But that Aston isn't no spring chicken either. So both of these, some of the older cars. It's not the V10 version or V12, V8 Aston. It's Henderson driving the wheels off it here currently, after possibly. Well, you see, I'm not going to leave. I'm not a race steward for this league, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not going to point any fingers. From my view, it was just an unfortunate incident. Two cars going for a bit of the same piece of road. As I'm sure both of those guys will say, it wasn't me, sir. But that's one for the stewards after the race. We'll get some word on that, what's going to happen. But Henderson was up there, right up there. But Ivanov's just currently turned on the afterburners and is keeping him at bay. And the longer he does that, it's going to bring in the rest of the field. Mind you, Sunkalal's about 10 seconds behind these pair that we have on the screen at the moment. As we know, ladies and gentlemen, the more you battle, the more you slow yourself down. And that just slows yourself down in the overall as well. Tom Grantham now on the back of Sunkalal has made that up. I think Sunkalal's made a mistake because Grantham wasn't that close earlier on. He's really pounced on him now, and that green AMG is on the comeback trail. He's got one more and then he's back to where he was, behind Henderson. He's just looking for that exit, and that's where you want to be, ladies and gentlemen. You can be right up behind him through Rabatza. You've got this mega long straight down here at Imola to get into the slipstream and then maybe challenge into turn 2 and 3. As you can see how close he is now, looking for that inside line, getting it done now. They're both side by side, wheel to wheel racing now. You've got superior braking abilities there from the AMG, but maybe a little bit deep, but he's done enough to stay in front and consolidate that overtake. I'll tell you what, the Lamborghini of Sunderland has come back, and it's close enough to maybe have a little bit of a dip, depending on how close you can get into turn 7, but I think that is probably all she wrote there for this little battle. Phil Turner again just looking for some of those crumbs to fall off the table, like a Labrador, just waiting to lick those up. And I'm sure he's going to get it, because look at this, Sunkalal is right up behind Grantham here at the moment, so maybe just applying the blowtorch. It's what he wants. That's what Phil Turner wants as well back there in the BMW. Wants the blowtorch turned on from these two. That'll slow him down and give him another chance to maybe get a little bit of a 2-for-1, Aldi type deal. See what happens though. I think Grantham just needs to stay out of the mirror, to keep his eyes straight down the track, and once he turns the pace on, you're probably going to drop these two anyway. There he goes now, that gap out to second. Nathan Henderson, however, is about half a second behind Ivanov now, 4/10. It's close enough. You will get the 8 off the suck, but you're not going to be close enough to have a dip into turn 2. But that's okay. You're just going to want to stay under that rear wing and ride it all the way into turn 7, which is another nice little overtaking opportunity that we've seen just on that final lap there. Grantham taking advantage of Sunkalal. Here he is now. Look at this. Henderson right up behind, balking a little bit. He really needs to get the run. A little bit of sideways action there with Ivanov on the slide. Henderson wasn't close enough to have the dive up there into turn 7. He's just going to have to poke it up there, maybe into turn 9 or 10. We've seen an overtake throughout Raleigh, and that's akin to across the top of Bathurst. It's some risky stuff indeed. But look at that, a beautiful line there from the GTR, taking it wide. I do prefer that line myself, trying to just use every inch of that racing circuit to your advantage, as they both hit that apex nicely as well. Tell you what, this isn't going to be an easy overtake for Henderson, because Mr. Ivanov certainly got a bit of race smarts about him. You can see there, just parking his car, not quite defensively, but maybe just a little bit of foreshadowing there, saying, listen, I know where you're at. I know where you're at, Nathan. If you try it, I'm going to park my car kind of in the middle of the track, and I'm ready to make that defensive move if need be. See what kind of exit these guys can get. The tyres, probably not not really worn down too much here at the moment. We're only 21 minutes into this race, starting the 12th lap now. Current out there, 9-second lead. Wowee. Lee Perkins, no answers so far. We'll see what happens maybe once they get down to some sort of half fuel load. The balance starts to change on these cars when you're driving. Any car with a lot of aero dependence, like these GT3 cars do, they certainly have plenty of mechanical grip, but most of it comes from the aero. You can see where, depending on where the fuel tank is situated in the car, it does make a difference in the overall aero balance of the car. So you see cars like the Porsche tend to get, oh, look at that, Nathan, just on the huge slide, manages to gather it up. Oh, that's a nice bit of car control there from Henderson, the number 31. Beautiful stuff, but Tokyo Drift is not where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the Italian countryside here at Imola. He's doing his best Tokyo Drift impersonation. But look at that pace, and he's right up the clacker there of Ivanov as well. Maybe Ivanov just admiring the big slide in his rearview mirror. Maybe not focusing on the action, or at least the track that's in front of him. That's crazy stuff there. But this battle rages on here for another lap. Certainly the pace is in that Aston Martin here at the moment, but not enough to overcome the pace and the race craft of Ivanov in front. You can see he's very close now. That's 0.2 difference. Nathan could have maybe tried to just sneak the nose up there. Decides against it. He's already had an incident down there in that turn, so he's probably a little bit gun shy. And fair enough, you don't want to be getting tangled up every time you're in when you're in some sort of a battle. You can see him switching over to the other side of the track, looking for a Daniel Ricciardo style dummy. Doesn't fall for it though. Ivanov just sticks to his line. That's the best way to go about it. When you're both very evenly matched on pace, you don't really have to over-defend. That's when you can find yourself falling into the clutches. Down here, Mark Stevens, though, speaking of falling into the clutches, Mike Lewin is sorry about that. The commentator's curse there, Mark Stevens. I'll let you get back to it. Up here, back to this raging battle here as they go down through turn 11 and 12, up the hill through 13. Get that horsepower down. You can see just right up the rear wing now. Very close, probably as close as he's been through this part of the circuit. And we've seen the Aston just superior through this part of the circuit, 14 and 15. Just needs to be close through to Avanza, and then you've got the whole straight to use the suck. Well, European mates tell me that the suck at Imola is quite strong. Also, the Slipstream is at the track too. Anyway, that's enough from me there in the commentary box. Is he close enough? 4/10, 3/10. He might just be, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look. Is he close enough here from the splitting? You can see, you can almost see the white up there in the GTR. Not quite close enough yet. Go back to the heli. I love the helicam. Isn't it nice? You get a nice overview of what's happening. You can see any sort of overlaps. You can get the best view there in the house. You can see the pace through that first half of this chicane. There's a mistake there from Ivanov, and that's all Henderson's going to need. He's going to have to go around the long way though. There was a little bit of an overlap there, but wow, look at the mid-corner pace of that GTR just sticking to the road. Even with the aid of that massive mistake there from Ivanov, Henderson just cannot take advantage of it just yet. Curran's come off the street. What's happened here? Has he made his pit stop? He has not. That is a... No, surely not. How's a marsh in front? That can't be right. What is going on here, ladies and gentlemen? And Liam Curran 3 laps down. I don't know about that. I think our timing tower is playing silly buggers. Hopefully that sorts itself out, ladies and gentlemen. We'll, yeah, there we go. Back to where it was. Just had a heart attack. Sorry about that, everyone out there. Good evening, Ron. It's Ron Marshall in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. He's the team principal of Marshall Brothers Racing. If you tune in on a Sunday night, they're one of the teams in the Gen 3 Supercars Australian Championship over at AK Racing. We see plenty of Ron around in the chat, so it's good to have you on board tonight, Ronnie. We're going GT3 racing for once. It's something a bit different. As I said to the viewers at the start of this race, it's been about 9 months since I've called a GT3 race. So it's a bit different to the old tin tops we've got during the week. But I'll tell you what, there's plenty of excitement to be had in the higher downforce in these cars. And they're nice to look at too. This game is beautiful on the stream there in 1440p, coming into your eyeballs. Mike Lewin's off the track again. Oh, he's not having the best of nights down there in the McLaren. He's managed to get back on the track, but moving slowly, and Mark Stevens will take advantage of that. Goes, thank you very much, up into 10th place. But we cannot take our eyes off this battle here, ladies and gentlemen. It is raging. Let's get on the back here. Let's have a look from the rear wing of the GTA. Let's see how close Nathan is this time around. He seems to be even closer and closer. Maybe just taking notes in the old black book where he can maybe take advantage of this GTR, where he's slow, where he's quick, and where he might be able to just force an overtake. I reckon it is into turn 2, ladies and gentlemen. Here is where you need to be up there. Just trail those brakes in. Try and get as far up underneath this rear wing as possible here through this final turn. And get the power on. Use that V8 engine. It is what it's designed to do. Absolutely kick some horses out the rear wheels. But I'll tell you what, that GTR does have the acceleration. Does have the traction. And that's keeping Henderson at bay. It has done for the last 5 laps so far. We've been riding on board with these two guys for a number of laps, 5 laps now at least. And Henderson probably getting a little bit impatient as well. This will be a good, I guess, idea about the cycle who we're dealing with in Nathan Henderson. One of the other great looking not mind one of those parked in your garage, that's for sure. I wouldn't mind any of those, to be honest. I wouldn't be picky. I'd be happy to be involved. Certainly would. But I'll tell you what, mate. It's featuring on the stream there as he goes off the bed. Nathan Henderson getting closer. You can see there, just searching for a way through. He's really, that's pretty good. That's that. Here we go. We've got the first person POV. Nathan Henderson, see what he's dealing with as he goes through the final couple of turns. He's lost touch here. He won't be able to make his move. You can see the amount of power steering he's able to use here. This Aston Martin, maybe not set up optimally. Yeah, just smart driving here from Henderson. Just wants to pick his time and maybe wait for a mistake. I'll tell you what, he has been waiting there for about 7 laps. And Ivanov has not really given him anything. He had one little mistake out of turn 6 a few laps ago. Henderson tried to go around the outside at turn 7 and it wasn't successful. As you can tell, he's still behind him. So back to the drawing for Henderson here. Still not close enough. You can see a little bit of maybe server lag there, maybe a little bit of lag from my end. I'm not too sure where this server is in the grand scheme of things in the world. But I assume we're a little bit far away from it with the behaviour of that car. But looking now, Henderson's closer. If you can just get this turn 6 right here, he might just have a chance, but maybe took a little bit too much curve there. You can see the Aston just sort of bouncing up and down like it's got the hiccups. Still closer than he was last lap. He's probably just taking notes. In the meanwhile, Grantham's made up about 5/10 on these two. As I said, they're not even really battling, just sort of following each other around here at the moment. Henderson on the slide again. That's dangerous stuff through there, you can tell. You can tell he's just got his hands full with that Aston. Ron asks in the chat, is this the first race meeting tonight? It is the first time Sensational has called this league. This is Slipstream International. And Ron, we are joining them in their final round of this championship. This is their 2025 World Series, Series of 1. This is the final round of 8. And we are riding on board with Henderson and Ivanov. Get the standings up quickly. Just have a look where those guys are in the grand scheme of things there. Ivanov sitting 4th in the championship, and Henderson's down there in 13th, but he's missed quite a few rounds. So Liam Curran winning that championship currently. If this race stops. He's got a 12-second advantage out there in front. He put it on pole and has pretty much driven off into the distance. Lee Perkins did give him a nice little battle for the first couple of laps, and since then he started to turn the screws, walk away, has that pink mark next to his name off the fastest lap of the race so far. But hopefully, if all goes to plan, hopefully we can call a few more of these Slipstream events in the future. I do love this title as well. Assetto Corsa Competizione is the game we're watching. Starting to get a bit older in the tooth. The new version of Assetto Corsa is out and available. Still waiting for multiplayer functionality for that one. I'll be interested to see what the broadcast options are. You can see both cars clattering across the curbs there. At 14 and 15, Henderson very close now behind the car. Look at this, only 2/10, maybe 1 now. He might even look into a little bit of a dip here into Ravazza. He doesn't. I think he's best off just to try and stay patient and try and nail this final turn. But the acceleration of the GTR is just too much. He's got 4/10 now out of that turn. He might be close enough now to take advantage of the old Suckaroo down the front straight. He is. I think this might be his opportunity here. He's waited 7 laps for it to come about. But I'll tell you what, the horsepower in that GTR is just too much for the little old Aston Martin to take advantage of. There's nowhere where he can make this overtake stick so far. He's tried every bloody move in the book here so far. You can see very close, having to pull out now of that little move into turn 5. It wasn't going to happen for him, but wow, Ivanov just driving the pants off this thing at the moment. So is Nathan, to be fair, back there in the black Aston. And neither of these guys giving an absolute inch here in the overtaking states. It's fantastic to see the old impenetrable. What is it? I've lost my train of thought. It's the immovable objects versus the other thing that can't be moved. Someone help me out in the chat. Oh goodness me, it's been a day. But Nathan Henderson, you can see just getting on the slide again. Maybe just thinking, what is the point? He's thrown everything but the kitchen sink at Jan Ivanov here at the moment. And tell you what, Ivanov's absorbed every single bit of it in that GTR. The unstoppable old tank, the Nissan GTR. What a car! What a car indeed! I love the old GTRs. They're one of my favourites indeed. You don't see it very often either in this game anymore. The old servers are just kind of getting BOP'd out of existence, getting forgotten about by ACC. Mind you, might have got an update in the last one. I haven't played this title. I don't even have a wheel and pedals anymore, folks. Full-time commentary is the gig, but I enjoy that just as much. I do miss the old racing days indeed, but I tell you what, you get to relive it vicariously through these guys, and why not? You get a top view here, you get to see it all, and bring it into the eyeballs of all the viewers at home. He's too closer again, but I'll just tell you what, Ivanov doing an absolutely cracking job in that GTR. Absolutely unperturbed by the advances Nathan Henderson behind. The gaps at the front are as wide. It's Queen Victoria here at the moment. 13 seconds the gap from first to second. 15 seconds the gap from second to third. And then 11 seconds back to these two. We're battling it out hard, and you might just be able to see there in your background. It's Tom Grantham. He's sitting second in the championship, ladies and gentlemen. There he is in the background there in the bright green AMG. He's hoping that these two guys just keep on battling because, and so am I actually, and so are all of you at home, because there's only thing better than a two-car battle, and it's a three-car battle. See, oh, look how close he is now. Henderson, this could be his opportunity this time. Surely, he's close enough, ladies and gentlemen, now. You can see the timing count is getting closer and closer to 10, 1, 10. The difference doesn't make a dent, and that thing is slippery in a straight line. That Nissan is absolutely brilliant in a straight line. You can see he's going a little bit deep there, through 2 and 3. This is the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, they've been waiting for. Side by side, they're going to go through turn 5. Here goes Nathan Henderson up the inside, but Ivanov's going to try and argue the battle through the inside, but around the long way. Here goes Nathan Henderson. Finally, he's been waiting about 10, 11 laps for that opportunity to come, and when it does, he took it with both hands. Thank your mother for the rabbits. Takes the position off him. Henderson up to 4th position and already gaps him by 7/10. Brilliant driving from both of these guys. Brilliant overtake from Henderson. Now it's Lars Ford looking for Charles Byrne, but he's got a long mountain to climb up there. That's 13 seconds up the road to Charles Byrne. Wowee. Let's go down there. Let's look at Phil Turner, because he is the next man on track. It's a 3-second gap up the road to Sunderland in the Lamborghini. Yeah, you're not wrong, Ron. Those two were battling it out for 11, 12 laps with only one previous opportunity. Just couldn't get the job done. And look here, Grantham has made his way up behind Ivanov now. We're going to see another little battle. Poor old Ivanov's just been on the chopping block here, and he's going to be under attack again very shortly. Tom Grantham, his last lap around, 143.5, plays a 143.7. 145.2. So 2 seconds of difference there. Grantham absolutely flying on that last lap around. Ivanov having the downside of being in that dead set battle with Henderson. So that certainly slowed him down. Quite a bit. 2 seconds to be in fact. We're almost getting to halfway distance, ladies and gents. And we could see a few cars just opting to maybe take an early stop, get a fresh set of tyres on, fill that tank up, and try and hit the home stretch earlier than the guys around him. Guys like Tom Grantham here, probably, I've probably be thinking, if I was Grantham, about an early stop. As we saw earlier, Ivanov very hard to overtake, and these guys, I'm sure, have raced together in this season. And Ivanov has shown in the previous races of this series that he's that hard to overtake. I'm sure Grantham knows it, and he probably needs to try and make this overtake for the better of his season. Try and get that overtake done in the pit. So I'll be coming in probably this lap, honestly, or the one after. You leave it too late, and you will just be having to overtake it on the track, which is not ideal, ladies and gents. I think the undercut is the way around Imola. So an undercut, for the folks that don't know out there, I'm sure you do, all are aware of what an undercut is. It's when you are battling, let's say, Ivanov and Grantham. The difference between those two guys is 2.5 seconds currently. If they both come into the pits on the same lap, and assuming both of their pit stops are up to scratch, they will both come out of the pit lane with that same gap, 2.5 seconds. But let's say Grantham comes into the pits now, comes out in clear air with new tyres, and starts to do lap times that are about a second quicker. And he does 3 laps before Ivanov hits at a second quicker per lap. When Ivanov comes out of the pit lane, Grantham will be in front by only half a second, but he will have overtaken in the pit lane, and that is the cut. How many laps are we going to do? I'm thinking, Ron, around 50, 51, because we're just about halfway through, and we've done 25 so far, so tipping around 50, 51, 52 in the stretch, depending. Actually, probably won't be 52 because they're going to lose time in the pit, so I'm thinking 51 at the most, but we'll see. We can put money on it in the pit. Jack, get your predictions in, ladies and gentlemen. How many laps are we going to do? Do my job for me. Grantham hasn't made any inroads yet on Ivanov. Both of those guys are very similar in the lap time department last time around. So we see Phil Turner coming into the pit lane now. He's the first one to blink, so here's a good, I guess, yardstick to see what kind of action the undercut has. So we've got a blue flag up ahead. That's the Ferrari of Eric Yang, 99, and you can see just that little interaction there with the blue flagger has cost Ivanov about half a second. We're going to see where we are on the track when Grantham catches up. I suspect we're going to be before. Probably wants to get out of the way before this next set of chicanes. He's probably going to have the blue flags waving in his field of view there in the Ferrari. And Grant, yeah, you can see the marshals off the side of the track waving those blue flags proudly. And Grantham in the AMG is probably thinking, okay, you've seen the blue flags, I've seen the blue flag. Time for you to step aside, my son. As long as it's not costing him too much, it hasn't actually. It's actually helping him now. He's going to have the aid of a little bit of a suck down the main straight. He's sticking in behind that rear wing, trying to get a bit of a slingshot effect happening. But, that gap now, 1.7 seconds between Ivanov and Grantham. We saw Grantham and Nathan Henderson, Ron, if you're just joining, and any of the other viewers just joining. We saw Grantham and Henderson getting tangled up just in that part of the track there into turn 2 very early on in this race, and both ended up out into the kitty litter. I said that might cost Grantham his championship, because he's only 19 points behind Liam Curran in the championship. There's another blue flag there as well in the that's the McLaren of Sebastian Marsh, just sidestepping. A little bit of a a sweat moment there for the AMG. Probably seeing that McLaren swerving to the right as he makes the pass. Gets through cleanly though, and now those two guys are battling. So let's go and have a look down here. The back of the battle of the rear wheel, the rear engine cars. Oh, Ferrari almost centre punching the back of McLaren. And that battle has fizzled out as quickly as it came about. Mark Stevens having a bit of a gutser there. Where is he? Just on the entry to turn 7. So maybe getting just a little bit acquainted with the grass. The kitty litter on the outside of turn 6 and spinning around. You can see he's still just a bit out of sorts. Maybe a hardware fail or something. Yeah, look, he's in all sorts of trouble. Maybe a little bit of steering damage or something there. Let's have a look. Yeah. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Steering arm bent to the max. He's got to turn right. He's got to turn left to turn right. Just about. Oh, that's tragic there. Mark Stevens is going to lose a hell of a lot of time in the pit lane now. Just trying to muscle this car around. He was right up there too. 8th position, mind you. Nathan Henderson coming into the pits. And Marsh getting tangled up as well. What's happened here, ladies and gentlemen? We've had a bit of an incident there between these two guys. Let's go and have a look. Let's have a quick replay of what's happened here between these two guys. This is the this is Marsh and Yang heading into turn 2. What's going to happen here? The Ferrari just good old punteroo. Off you go into the kitty litter. Is he going to redress? I don't know if the redresser rules apply in this league. Henderson has come out about, what's that, 44 seconds behind Tom Grantham. So maybe Grantham time to pit now, I'd say. You don't want to be going any much longer because you don't want to get involved in a battle with Ivanov in front. Currently about to pit. He's just in the pit lane now, getting serviced. Lee Perkins follows him in. Charles Byrne takes over the lead. Yeah, they're running the standard GT3 tyre, which is fairly hard. You'll find it will last a full tank of fuel. It might even last 2 full tanks of fuel to a certain degree. But always get a little bit more tyre performance at the early stages of the tyre life. Curran getting back out on track there. And he's found himself in a little bit of a traffic jam. That's a lap car in front of the, I think it's Michael Lewin, getting out of the way. So it's not going to cost him too much, but Sunkalol's up there in front. That's only, 2.2 seconds the difference there. Check in on Grantham because he is now within a second of Ivanov in front. It's probably time for him to hit the pit lane. Don't want to get tangled up with, well, not tangled up, so to speak, but you don't want to get slowed down while you're battling. Try and save yourself the lap time wherever you can. Maybe Grantham opting to go long. See what happens. He'll probably do the opposite of what Ivanov does. At least that's what I would do, ladies and gentlemen. The Super Coach handing out the tips, whether they are warranted or not. Ivanov goes around one more time. So does Grantham. So both these boys going long. Current up the back now of Sunkalol. Get a nice little camera angle here. You can see the two Lamborghinis on track together, battling it out. Well, there'll be no advantage, no horsepower advantage here at least. It just all depends on how much aero you've put on. And look at the performance there of that purple one. He's going to try and go around the long way. I don't know about that move. doesn't need to get tangled up with one of these guys. His race is not with Sunkalol. It's just getting unfortunate with the pit timing there has Liam Curran. He's pitted himself into a battle. Just maybe a little bit out of sorts there as well. He hasn't been used to having some sort of car in front of him this whole race. He started off pole and basically walked away from them to start with. Charles Burns had a bit of an incident. Let's have a look how he's going. He's all right. Circulating again. But Curran just got his hands full here with Sunkalol. And although Sunkalol's race is not with Liam Curran, as they are on alternate pit strategies here at the moment, he's well within his right to defend that position, as they are on track. They're battling for position, currently third, but they are out of pit rotation. So Sunkalol well within his right to make it difficult, and why not? Because he's had all his own way, possibly this whole season. Ladies and gents, that's why he's found himself on top. Here he goes, having a little dip down into reverse and gets the job done nice and cleanly as well. That's how you make an overtake under brakes, ladies and gents, right there. Pulled out. Sunkalol saw him coming, gave him the room, and no tears spilled. Beautiful stuff there from Curran. Takes off down the circuit. He's got 19 seconds for Grantham, who still hasn't pitted. Ivanov taking over the race lead. You can see there on your time towers there, there's a little one and a little yellow strip. That indicates that those drivers have yet to take their pit stop. When that turns green, it means they have taken their mandatory pit. As you can see, most of the field having done so now. Only 5 drivers in: Ivanov, Grantham, Sunkalol, Hutchins and Yang yet to do their pit stop. Grantham I can understand, because he was up against it, had that incident earlier on with Henderson. So he's probably thinking, I'm just going to try and push this as long as I can. Get some low fuel in it before I fill it up. Maybe try and make some ground up that way. Overcuts do work in this sim as well, like the original Assetto Corsa, where it's just undercut city. Very realistic tyre model from what I've been told. So Ivanov now peeling into the pits, and Tom Grantham takes over as the provisional leader of this race, until he decides it's time to come in and service that AMG. Beautiful colours, 161. Love it, love it, love it. Ron reckons pit with 30 to go. He would know, ladies and gentlemen. Team boss and engineer of NBR Racing. And they're right up there in the team championship as well. In the Gen 3 supercars. For those who aren't aware, you might be able to tune into that next Sunday night here on Sensational TV. They'll be hitting Barbagallo. Fantastic little circuit for racing. They're out there in Western Australia. Cars are on in the convoy now, currently making their way over to Perth. Wanneroo to be, in fact. Get them set up for some practice during the week. But the big race on next Sunday night, 4:45 p.m. we will be going live there for the Tier 2 race to start with. And then flicking straight across into the main grid. Gen 3 supercars. There's quite a few drivers in that series. I had a quick look the other night. We've had 105 sign-ups over the season now. Quite incredible. The popularity of that series. So we're quite privileged, and what a thrill to be calling all the action there in the V8 Supercars. I'll tell you what, with 2 full grids, it's It's great action as well. Liam Curran just casually sets another fastest lap. Second lap in after getting a new set of tyres. So I'm just seeing that overtake just slipping out of the fingers here of Grantham. I think the undercut was the way to go. Sad to say. Where is? Hang on. Ivanov's down here in 7th position. Let's just ride on board with him for the time being. Keep an eye out for when Grantham pits. If he's on the same wavelength as Ron Marshall, he's probably going to look to pit in the next 3 minutes. It's Grantham we're talking about. Both the MBR team won't be participating at Barbagallo. Oh, that's tragic. Both working away, so might have to get the boys to buy themselves a little travel rig to take on work trips with them. I know Andrew Ferguson has had a little travel rig. He was ready. He was even going to sign up to Starlink because he works away on some sort of oil tanking ship or something. He's out in the middle of the ocean. He was going to take a little Logitech setup and a Starlink, so he can tune in to the race from wherever he is in the Pacific or Indian Ocean. Fantastic commitment there, Mr. Ferguson. Henderson just starting to close in on Charles Byrne. That gap is 2.5 seconds. You can see his last lap was 1:43.4, and Charles Byrne last lap around was a 1:44.6. 1.2 seconds quicker around last time. Nathan Henderson. So he's starting to fly in this last third of the race. Just about the last third. Once we go half an hour to go, that will be the final third. Excuse me. A lot of yellow flags showing up in my highlights column here in the broadcasting software. I think we've had a DNF as well along the way. There was 14 at one point. I'm not too sure who is on the receiving end of that DNF. Don't know the car drivers well enough. It says it's our first time calling all the action here at Slipstream International. And it is international. Looking at some of the names here, we've got some Russians in Ivanov, and I'm not going to put my foot in it as to where I assume everyone is from. Dodge that one, Chriso. Tom Grantham still going around at the front, has not decided to pit yet. Just going to see how he can pop that out. His last lap around was 1:43.6 as well, so pretty good around that mark. He's going faster than Ivanov is at the moment. So that was the main battle on track for quite some time. As he was watching these two guys, should I say Henderson and Ivanov. Henderson now 19 seconds in front of Ivanov around that last stint, really. Ooh, what was that? Some server malfunction there, but everyone's back out on the circuit. Interesting. This is the closest battle we've got on track. It's Nathan Henderson. He's got that gap down to under 2 seconds now at the moment. Charles Byrne, our UK correspondent here at Sensational TV. You might have heard him on the call last Tuesday night. Bargon Racing. Oh no, he's almost bargoned himself off into the bloody bunda there. The Oreo has been peeled, and that's he's going to fall into the clutches here of the Aston Martin of Nathan Henderson. Only lost 3/10 in that little moment. Lost a lot more. Brendan H with the isms there in the chat. I like it. current is chewing up your competition like Pac-Man chomping the ghosts. Absolutely, he's got the little, what is it? The little flashing ball, and the tides have turned, and now he's just chasing the ghosts around. He's absolutely flying. He owns about 10 of the fastest laps, or if not all of them. I don't think I recall anyone else's name popping up in purple there at the top of your screens. He was a second quicker than them all as well in qualifying. So I guess the writing was on the wall there. His pace was superior. And just look at the pace now. I mean, 10 seconds behind Tom Grantham. When they came in, he was 47. I think he was 47 seconds behind. Something like that. Absolutely flying. His last lap around was a 1:41.9. The next quickest guy out there is Lee Perkins. He's probably second in net positions. He was only 4/10 behind in the pace department, but overall 26 seconds behind. Was that 36? I guess we'll find out once Sunkalol comes into the pits, as well as Grantham. They're pushing this stint as far as you can. I mean, these tyres, I know they do last a long way, these GT3 tyres. They're very robust. Surely you come in and try and take advantage of a soft set or a new set of rubber. Certainly this guy did, and he was flying out of the gates now. 1:43.5 was his last lap. And now he finds himself about a second behind Charles Brown. We could have a nice little battle shaping up on our hands. Looking at the back of Charles Burn's car there. Oreo insignia painted on the rear wing. Hopefully the cookie doesn't crumble too soon for him. You can see that Aston looming large there in the background. That is no good. We've seen a fair bit of him tonight. He's just been in the thick of a lot of battles. That's all it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. No favouritism played here in the commentary box. Just like to bring everyone the closest battles on the circuit. He's just been a part of this whole race, basically. Him and I don't know. It's just unreal seeing those two guys. A strategic little pace battle there, and then when it was time to pull the trigger, he did. It was a mistake there from Byrne. He's getting fighting. Right, Henderson right up underneath the rear wing, up through turn 9 and 10 coming up. See the car squirreling around a little bit. That Aston Martin not happy at all. Maybe that, or it's just a little bit of circle lag there. High ping perhaps. I don't know what's going on. That gap now just 7/10. We've seen how patient Henderson can be. Aston just doesn't look great over the curves. I don't know what it is. It seems to just bounce up and down like it's hiccuping. You know what I'm saying? So 7/10's the difference now. Charles Byrne maybe just possibly a victim of driving in the mirrors here as well. You can see him, just trying to swerve to break the toe, but didn't need to. Just needs to get on the power, do what Ivanov did, stay on that racing line. And there's not much you can do down that front straight. I don't know if the Aston has the horsepower to pull alongside. He certainly couldn't when Ivanov in that GTR just firing. We'll just have to find out the difference between the GTR and the BMW. Both very similar cars, or should I say the Ford Mustang. They're very similar vehicles. Oh, that could be in there from Byrne now, just going off the track. Henderson searching for a way through. Byrne just sort of parked it in the middle of the circuit. There was nowhere through. There was probably maybe an Aston Martin sized gap up the inside, but didn't want to risk it there as well. So Henderson back to the drawing board. Henderson just, whoa, you can see him throwing a dummy there as well. I don't know if that was the smartest idea. He's going to the circuit. But you don't want to be doing that too often. They are certainly pushing these tyres to the limit. They're very robust as well, but there's another McLaren 720 just getting out of the way there. That's Sebastian Marsh. The old Kiwi livery. We'll give that a look at that too. But he is on board with Charles Byrne. It seems gapped Henderson as well, so a little bit of mistake there from a man on the Aston Martin. Those guys still going around. Grantham, Sunderland, Eric Yang yet to pit. 22 minutes to go. Surely it's time to pull the trigger now. I don't know if they're really taking advantage of any kind of overlap here today. I think it's time to just pull it in, call it a loss, and strap on the new set of tyres and go to the end. I don't think there's a hell of a lot of damage they can do either way. But, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you get your strategies right, sometimes you get them wrong. I think the early pit was the move here. Yeah, absolutely too late now. Well, I suppose it is. You may as well go as long as you can. You missed that opportunity, I think. 48 minutes to go is probably the ticket. Get on those new set of tyres. But Ivanov down there in 7th position. He's lost touch with these two battling it out. He's 16 seconds behind these guys on screen. So hopefully these guys can battle for the next 21 minutes. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me very much. It's been a big day, ladies and gentlemen. All the Renaults. New bathroom. Henderson getting closer. Let's have a look. Very close indeed. I think this would be a maybe an opportunity here. If not, hang back try and turn 7. You see the Mustang. No legs out there on straight. Oh, Henderson maybe very squarely on the entrance there. In turn 2. That's to gather it up. As a consequence. Not ideal for the Aston. Get a wider view there and just see, because Charles has been messing up there in turn 6. As he does again, just drops 2 wheels off into the cat litter. Just slows him down, but he must have the old off-road tyres on the left-hand side of that vehicle. He seems to get out of it every time unscathed. Is yet to crumble there for Charles Byrne. Thank you, Ben. Commentary is too soft when on board, or on board too loud. Okay, well, we can fix that up. We can just turn the game sound down just a little bit. So I'm as loud as I can go here in the microphone department. It's always hard when you're switching between titles, as the volume levels are always different, whether you're on board or elsewhere. But regardless, here goes Henderson and Byrne, locked in a tight battle here. Second is the difference. There's a blue flag. It just gets out of the way there. That's Mustafa. Takes the wide line, and that's maybe hindered the car 31 there just slightly. He's dropped about half a second actually, or more, in that little, I guess, navigation around the BMW. So he's going to have to go back to the drawing board of pace and try and figure himself out. Tom Grantham, however, is probably going to get overtaken here from Liam Curran. And that's a big stuff here. No, actually, Grantham's now dropping it into the pits, finally. And we can see who was correct in that old, I guess that old argument, whether you should pit earlier or later. This will be the writing on the wall. Let's go and see where Grantham is. Pulling into the pit lane now. Where's Ivanov? He's about halfway around the circuit, so this could be a stroke of genius here. Tom Grantham going long. He's not moving yet, ladies and gentlemen. Ivanov still up there at turn 14 and 15. I don't think it's going to be close at all. I think Tom Grantham knows what he's doing. He certainly does. The overcut has worked here and has made me look like a right dickhead. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I do know what I'm talking about sometimes, but look at that. The overcut has certainly worked there. The Mercedes-Benz on low fuel has just been firing around the circuit, and he's overtaken 3 cars there. 4 cars in the overcut. And wowee, what a call, what a stroke of genius there from Grantham. Wowee, he's still got, 50 seconds shy of Liam Curran to try and take any kind of solace in this championship, but he's going to have to settle for second in that regard. But he's got one over the old commentator here, and do not listen to me when it comes to GT3 racing. I'm not that well versed in it. But tell you what, direct all your strategy questions to this man here, Tom Grantham. Anyway, down here, Anderson now on the back of Charles Byrne again. Mustang v Aston Martin. Let's see if he can make this work this time. Right on the bonnet. A bit of that carbon fibre under your nose, ladies and gentlemen. You can see how very close he is now, coming up into turn 15. 14 and 15, clattering over the curbs. You kind of, you can see the Mustang just eats them up as well. No Bentleys in the field. They were always the curb eaters. I guess the Mustang's taken over in that regard. You can see him just gap him over that last turn 15 there, over the sausage. And again there, through the final turn, manages to get traction as well with the cars sort of bouncing around over those curves. Mustang, very nice car, very popular car as well in ever since its release. It's the newest car out there in GT3 land for ACC. So why not? The title is getting long in the tooth, especially for a specialised title. I guess it's GT3, GT2 now as well, but they're not really popular at all. Never really took off, and neither did the GT4s, to be honest. They're fun to drive, but multi-class racing, I don't know, in my opinion, just doesn't work in the sim, because you're just basically, having 2 small grids go around, irrespective of each other. Just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. You have 40 cars on track, why not have them all battling each other rather than splitting them up into 2 sections that may or may not battle each other from then on in. But bigger fields are better. 14 cars back out on circuit, so somebody has rejoined. Must have been Sebastian Marsh, because he is 7 laps down. Hopefully nothing terminal there, but a little bit of maybe a hardware failure, something. Maybe his Uber Eats arrived. Had to go and answer the door. Quickly eat the burger and then back into the sim, 7 laps down. But good to see Sebastian getting involved anyway. After a 7-lap hiatus outside of the server. Everyone now has made their pit stop, ladies and gents. All runners going to the end. This is the only battle on track I foresee in the future as well. So we're probably just going to stick with these guys to the end, depending on what happens. That is. Let's go back out this rear view. It's a nice little indication. As you can see, Byrne just being aware of his mistakes through turn 6 there, and just taking a tighter line on the exit, giving those rear wheels plenty of chance to connect with the asphalt. It's where they perform best, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. But Henderson now very close. Oh, you can see that Mustang just drifting. Bit too wide there out on the asphalt. It's a bit slippery out there as well. Look at this, the Aston Martin of Henderson all over the back of him here at the moment. Cannot shake him. Just wants to stick close, because I just don't know how it goes in the horsepower department. We haven't seen him be able to force an overtake into the first turn, or turn 2, which is the first braking zone on this circuit. So whether the Aston's just lacking a little bit of top speed, or he's got plenty of rear wing on the back, who knows. I'd say he probably doesn't have that much rear wing, honestly, by the way we saw him having to counter steer a lot out of the sort of medium to low speed turns. So maybe running as little wing as possible, but still just not up to scratch in the horsepower department. Maybe this track just not suited to the Aston Martin. As we know, in ACC land, ladies and gentlemen, these cars are BOP'd per track, I believe. So you get some of these GT3 cars that excel at some tracks and some where they do not. As I said, I've been out of the game for quite some time here in this title, so I wouldn't know which cars are good where. If you're very aware of ACC, the last time that I played this game, the Honda was where you wanted to be at Bathurst. So that's going back a few years. I don't know what build that was, or update release. But the Honda was doing 159s at Bathurst. Nowadays, I think it's the Mustang. But you never know. These two guys locked in a tight battle. I'll tell you what, Nathan Henderson's been nothing but battling this whole race. The matte black Aston Martin looks magnificent, but just had his hands full this whole race. Where he could have been had he had some clear air. He's certainly had pace, ladies and gents. Like, his best lap is a 1:43.5, which, mind you, is still 2 seconds off the best of Liam Curran. And Lee Perkins behind him, sitting in second currently. His best lap was a 1:42.8, so 1.2 seconds behind Liam Curran. That's crazy pace there at the front. Ivanov actually has the second fastest lap in this field. He's sitting back there in 6th position. So maybe if he qualified a little better. Whoa, look at that. Oh, Henderson very close to making contact with Charles Byrne, the rear quarter panel there of the Mustang. That is some dicey stuff. Tell you what, 10 minutes to go in this race. Henderson's starting to maybe just feel the burn. Literally, Byrne's on the slide, and here goes Henderson maybe looking up the inside turn 10. Not going to make that happen this time. Had to pull out of it. Was in a bit of a dangerous position for him. Wowee, that was that was some tight stuff there. Henderson maybe flirting with drive-through penalties as well. You see, these guys do get chances to go off the track, and they don't want to make too much of it, because you get yourself a drive-through for cutting. Wowee, that was very close. If we saw the helicam from that would have been good. Can we go back? Let's go back 30 seconds in the old replay department and see how close it was. I think we're probably a bit too far along. Yeah, we didn't get the full replay of that. Probably need to go back a little bit further. But, hands are tied here with this broadcasting software. But happy to have that function of having the replay. I wish we had that in our regular title that we broadcast here at Sensational TV. We're back to the live action. And the gap is still at 3/10. Where are they on the circuit? Oh, through turn, what's that? Turn 4, turn 5 and 6 now. Henderson maybe just letting the red mist descend, maybe a little bit impatient, perhaps, in chasing down these this Mustang. He's been able to hold on for so long. Charles Byrne, he's got 8 minutes to do so to hold on to a top 4. See how that plays out. Phil Turner down here is in absolute no man's land. He's got 40 seconds to the car in front. Mike Stevens, however, is just starting to make some inroads here on Jason Hutchins and the other Mustang. Here he is now on track, number 91. You can see Stevens there behind in the Castrol McLaren. Both of these guys have been in the wars. I've seen a couple of off-track excursions. Explains why they're so far down. But back to the action here. These two battling it out. And have done so for quite some time now. For old Henderson, I'd be absolutely fuming under that helmet. He's just, he's had battle after battle. He's had hardly any clear air this whole endurance race. And you know, if you've ever done any endurance racing, that it's just a hard way to win when you're up against the wall like that. It's really throwing it here at Charlie. You can see he's right close now. He's maybe primed to attack if he can stay under the rear wing. I don't know how much dirty air these guys kick out the back, but certainly some. If you're sitting in that aero wash, maybe close enough here to maybe look up the inside. Whoa, just lost his brake marker there, I think, as well, and had to kind of go a bit deeper than first planned. But now, I think they're going to be side by side here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get on the helicam and have a look. He had to pull out of it, and Charles Byrne goes half defensive, just like 1 car length or 1 car width from the outside of the ideal racing line, just to tell Nathan behind that he has got one eye on him in the rearview mirror and is prepared to battle this out and defend with his life. And why not? 6 minutes to go. It's all defense. He's not going to make up any more positions because Tom Grantham's already 12 seconds down the road in front of these two at the moment. So all he's got to worry about is that black Aston Martin behind, and he can pretty much drive in his mirrors from now on in. 6 minutes equates to just 3 laps, 4 laps if we're lucky, depending on where the leader is around the circuit. The leader is currently, let's go and have a look. He's about halfway around the circuit there, heading up to the 3rd sector now currently. Nathan Henderson, though, I've taken the camera off and he's got side by side here. Oh, Charles Byrne just turns across his nose. That's could have just given him a little bit more room there and he would have stayed in front, but as it is, he's turned himself around and Henderson trundles off up the road there. Let's have another look at that. That was some lazy stuff there, but let's go back and have a look at the replay, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, the Oreo car just driving Henderson off to the side of the road there. They're side by side. A little bit of server lag there, but Henderson holds it straight, turning into the apex, and they both come to contact just on the outside of the turn. Whoa, it's one of those ones, isn't it? But now he's found himself on the back of his old sparring partner, Ivanov. These two guys were battling for sheep stations in the first half of this race and somehow found themselves in it again. So Ivanov's dropped back a little bit, and Henderson now right up behind him. As I've said, he's been in battles all day, and why not finish off the race in one? He's got his hands certainly more full than they were before, because Ivanov is proven to be a very hard customer to overtake indeed. It's probably cost him a bit, because Grantham, while these guys were battling, was just out in front doing his own thing, smoking his pipe, if you will, and came up with one of the all-time overcuts that I've ever seen. We all thought he was mad here in the commentary box and in the comments. You shouldn't doubt the madmen when they're out there doing their thing, because he knew exactly what he was doing. Could have even gone further, I reckon. He was getting low on fuel in that AMG, and oh no, there's a big mistake from Henderson, and that can probably kiss goodbye any kind of battle we might see with those two guys. As Ivanov, we've seen, is probably second quickest all day out there, or he is second quickest, albeit a second slower than the man out in front, Liam Curran. He's been untouchable today, as you can see there in the purple Lamborghini. That thing looks planted. Let's go on a lap. Let's get in the cockpit here and let's see how he goes about his business. We'll look at the hands work, look at the wheel work of the speedy guy, of the championship winner here, all barring disaster. I think it'll be something like he really needs we really need a disaster to lose it from here. Let's hope we don't jinx him. Yeah. There's comments from the Supercoach there in the chat. Brendan H. Fabian tuning in. G'day, Fabian. He's not cheating on AK. He's just faithful to Sensational. And why not? Curran has found himself a lovely pasta shop. He's dropping in for a bit of lunch, and he'll still win by 10, maybe 20. Yeah, he's absolutely flying. He's got, 44 seconds up his sleeve. He could pull into a bit of fast food, a little bit of pranzo, and absolutely fly it. Let's go on a lap here. Let's see how the audio levels are. They're okay. They're okay. It's certainly louder when we're on board, because you're in the car, you're feeling it. Let's go on a lap around Imola with the whatever series we're in, the World Series Championship winner here in Liam Curran. Just an awkward little interaction there with a blue flagger. So coming through turn 2 and 3 here at Imola. Up to fifth gear, fourth gear, back down through turns 5 and 6. You can see not as much oversteer as Nathan Henderson we saw earlier on in the Aston Martin. This thing looks a little bit more planted on exit. As I say that, just a little bit of correction added there with a little bit of opposite lock. But this is the guy he's been a second quicker consistently across all the sessions today, and you can see why. That car is certainly planted, going down through Aqua Minerale again here for probably the last time, unless there is a one more lap added. This could be the final lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen. He's got another blue flagger there in front of him in the Ferrari. Just gets that job done over the turn 14 and 15. Oh, it does not like the curves, though. Have to admit, it does not look great over the curves, but that has not worried him all day. 22 seconds to go in this race. Tell you what, it's all up to him now. If he wants to have another lap, he can. I think, although I think the time will run out by the time we get there. Liam Curran is right there in the hot seat. He was pole position today. He was quickest in practice. He was given a little bit of a battle there at the start by Lee, but it wasn't enough to unsettle him, because he will cross the line as this season's champion here at Slipstream International World Series. Takes the checkered flag in the 90-minute Enduro and is your season's champion. And well-deserved. You can see the pace that he had all day was just absolutely outstanding. His Lamborghini teammate now pulling alongside, giving the thumbs up, and the congratulations start to begin. Pulls it off for a bit of circle work, turns off the traction controller. Why not, ladies and gentlemen? That is your series champion, number 43, Liam Curran. And we've got to wait about a full minute here for second place to get across the line. Lee Perkins will cross the line in second position. Tom Grantham, the overcut man, crosses the line, or will cross the line in the future for third position. Jan Ivanov, we saw defending like a lion there from Nathan Henderson in the first stint and again in the second stint, and he's got the better of him there in the second stint. Oh, Ronnie, thank you so much, son. With the $10 super chat, thank you very much, mate. Yeah, it's an hour and a half out there on the solo, but we will be joined one day by our travelling commentator Zach O'Reilly. He'll be back one day. But Charles Byrne, in the meantime, crosses the line in sixth position. Jaden Lee Sunkalol in 7th position. He made up quite a few positions as well, I believe. Let's have a look. Sunkalol, yeah, up 5. So great stuff from him. Phil Turner crosses the line next. Started 9th, finished in 8th. Mustafa, sorry. Got Lion King on the mind there. Number 151. Crosses the line in 9th position. 10th is Eric Yang. Started a bit better, dropped down a couple of positions. So did Mike Lewin. He was up there in 5th or 6th. Started up the order, dropped 5 positions to finish in 11th. Mark Stevens in 12th also. Jason Hutchins, Sebastian Marsh, both didn't qualify. Had to start at the back and finished at the back as well. So unlucky for those guys. Fabian saying, "Damn, Roddle." Know how it goes, Fabian. That's how the cookie crumbles. And that's how the cookie crumbled there for the Oreo team. But Liam Curran is your champion, is your race winner. And thank you all to the viewers. Thank you all to the admin there at Slipstream International for having us on here for the call here at Sensational TV. Thank you, Brendan H, coming in late with the super chat as well. Thank you very much, mate. It's a great night. Thank you. Henderson says, cheers for calling the race, mate. Well, I'll tell you what, if you go back and watch it, you're the main star of the show. You were just battling the whole way through, so that was quite a busy race for you indeed. Oh, I can catch my breath now. It's been action-packed. Considering only 14 cars on the grid, there was quite a lot happening in that race. So a little bit of something for everyone out there. But no one had the pace to catch that Lamborghini on screen, should I say. Absolutely dominant display there, and finishing off the season in style. If you want to get involved in the racing, there's the link down there in the description. That will take you to the ASA or Discord. Through there you can find not only Slipstream International, but a bunch of other leagues that offer any kind of racing you can think of, from Gen 3 supercars through to, I think there's F1, and there's obviously GT3 racing as well. So something to sink your teeth into, whatever you are into. So have a look at that if you haven't already, and you're watching the stream for the first time. We might get a few first timers out there. Make sure you hit a like button on the video. Subscribe if you can. Hit the notification bell if you want to join the chat for future broadcasts. We go live a few times a week with different series around the shop, so it's good to have all the viewers out there, and we thank you all for tuning in again. That's, I think we're going to wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a ripper. Hopefully we can bring you a few of these races next season. As I said, the new season there starts the 26th of July. So keep your eye to the ground, or your ear to the ground even better, as to when you can jump in and cut some laps with these boys. But in saying that, my name is Chris Munro. Zach O'Reilly is not here. He's on holidays, but he'll be back at some stage. Hopefully, with no kind of disease that he picks up over in Thailand. Told him to watch out for Adam's apples. ping pong shows, all that good stuff. But thank you all again. Get a round of applause for you all. My name is Chris Munro. You are watching Sensational TV, and we'll be live next Wednesday. That'll be the next one. That'll be the finale for the AK Racing's Wednesday Cup. That's going to be an absolute ripper around the 1966 Monaco circuit in the old M5s. About 30 on track we're chasing there. Yeah, absolutely. Fabian's gloating in the chat there. He's chasing the title. He's up there in the lead. It's pretty close, but so it's all going to come down to qualifying there at Monaco. Looking forward to calling that action because that is going to be unreal. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to say goodbye. Thank you all once again. My name is Chris Munro. I don't usually do the sign off. It's usually Zach. So what does he say? It's here at Sensational TV. Keep it flat out.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.